everybody. Yeah, so culture fit. First of all, this talk came out of a great discussion that happened at DevOps Days Pittsburgh, so I want to thank Nivea Henry, who works at Summa from Pittsburgh, and also Jean Lang, who works at IBM, also from Pittsburgh. So culture fit is fundamentally broken. The way that we talk about it and what we consider to be important, I think, are major problems right now. Yeah, it's super hard to be up here and talk with all that talking back there, by the way. So in any case, culture fit is really broken. There are, I think, about three major aspects to a culture. There are rituals, the things that we like to do every day together. There are traditions which grow from rituals. That could be, say, scrums and stand-up and that sort of thing. And then there's one that I like better, which are values, and we'll talk about that in a second. I just want you all to know I love craft beer. I drink plenty of it. I think that's fantastic. I also really, really love coffee. 8 grams of coffee per 4 ounces of liquid is my go-to. I don't know if any of you care that much, but we could talk coffee later. But never in the history of my career has it ever been important for me to drink beer to solve a business problem, right? So I've never been better at solving a business problem because I'm also good at drinking craft beer. But all the time we talk about culture fit by saying, I think I could drink a beer with her. That would be really great. And so we need to stop that. So I'd like us to consider, rather than valuing traditions and rituals very highly, which are important to build some measure of inclusion, think about the values that you hold dear about how you conduct yourself at work, how you grow as a person, and the type of people that you want to surround yourself with. So we could go into things that we value. I value a blame-free culture. I want to be able to take risks that are big enough that if they fail, it does matter, but it's still okay. Right? Yeah, go for it. If you value these things, you could clap. That would be fantastic. I also want to grow through making mistakes. Again, if we're not actually taking risks, then we're probably not learning. Software is always broken, so we've made all these mistakes anyway, and it should be okay to keep making them and learn from that. I value sharing. I want to share successes. I want to share in the failures with my team. I want to share coffee and beer, and I also want to share ideas more than anything else. So I want to work with people who also value sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, giving it away. I like continuous feedback because I make enough mistakes that if you don't constantly tell me that I'm making them, then it's going to be a big problem later, and then I feel really crappy about that. But also, I haven't been able to grow with feedback. So those are things I value as well. And going right along with that is continuous learning. It doesn't have to be learning about programming languages necessarily, but I like to work with people who are constantly learning about something, who care deeply about learning almost anything. It doesn't matter, but just learn. My idea of work-life balance is definitely not your idea of work-life balance, and that should be okay. I care deeply about having balance in my life, and I want others that I work with to have balance. And by allowing people to have that balance, we can cultivate differences, and we can make differences a part of our workplace culture. And this is, I think, sort of the meat of it. We're doing, I think, an okay job of highlighting that diversity matters, and that we look to work with people who are different from us. And certainly, you're looking at a guy who certainly ticks all the boxes of privilege, and I recognize that. But I want to work with people who are fundamentally different from me, because I grow by learning from their experiences and their lives, which should be different from mine. And if I'm only looking superficially at the differences, and I'm not going deeper into the and using values to connect me to the people that I work with, then I'll just end up working with people who like to drink beer and can work 16 hours a day and don't have families and don't have children. But that's not diverse enough for me, and I'd like us to consider really pushing deeply on diversity. So work on values over rituals when you're considering who you hire, and also when you're considering where you work. So this is the idea of redefining, culture fit at work, is to think about value fit. So you might enjoy drinking a beer with someone, but that's not necessarily the most important thing about the people you spend a third of your life with. So that's my idea. So value fit.